everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Joy Evans.
Today we're reviewing Beast. Which is actually a good name of this game. So in this game, the theming is you're in some fantasy world where some massive, gigantic beast that, as far as I can tell, is considerably easy to kill.
Yeah, it's got like 3 hit points.
Is terrorizing the villages and eating sheep and people, and you need to stop it. Sometimes it's doing it for good cause. I don't know if you read the background. When you play the wolf, she adapted a human that no one else wanted, and then someone killed that human, and that's why she's wicked.
Well, that happens.
It does. I've had it happen to me myself. Anyway, this is a one versus all.
Yep.
It is a hidden movement game where one person's playing the beast and they're moving around, and everyone else, which 1 to 3 other players, are hunting them down. So
right.
Here's some more information about the game. The game is going to take place on the map here, and this is there's a side for 4 players and then a side for 2 to 3 players. This is the 4-player side, and there's different animals on the map. There's bears and pigs and sheep, and there's different people here, normal people and then lords. And the beast is going to start in the middle, and players are going to start in town. So one person's going to pick which beast they would want to be in. So right now I have Fangrear, the wolf pack queen, but there are various beasts that you can pick. Each beast has a certain number of hit points. They also have a bunch of special abilities, and you need to get a certain amount of currency to upgrade these special abilities, which use these really tiny tokens, by the way. And it kind of works because they're embedded into boards, but whew, these tokens are tiny. Really cool artwork here on the beasts. Then we have the heroes who are going to be hunting down the beasts. I don't know if I love this artwork as much, but same thing, they're going to be able to be upgraded, and they also have special abilities that they're going to do. Finally, you're going to pick kind of a scenario, and there's different number of scenarios. Again, this is a 4-player one, but you also might have a 2 to 3-player one. And this is going to tell you how things start, what map you're using, kind of a little bit of a background to it, and how the beast wins and how the hunters win. So in this case, hunters win when the beast is dead, or if they make it to the final night. This is a 3-night game. You get to the final night, and if the beast hasn't won, the hunters win. The beast wins when they kills 4 of these people on the board on this particular one. There's also, it will show you at the end of each night, it will show you if the different people have accomplished things. Like here, for example, if the hunters have done a damage to the beast, then they get this reward. If the person starting in this one is still alive, then the hunters get a reward. Meanwhile, the beast, if they kill 2 sheep or 1 pig, they get this reward, and so on and so forth. So this kind of is your template for the game. The beast also has an optional mini board that they can take that has a little mini map that you're going to be able to, move tokens around on this mini map to show where you are, so you can look at this rather than the main board, because the game is about secretly moving the beast around. It also talks about some of the tokens in this game and different things that will show up on the board. So the game takes place over 3 different 24-hour periods. First, there's the dawn phase. And in the dawn phase, you're going to take this small action card deck, and you're going to deal a certain amount of cards to each player. So let's say you're playing a 4-player game. The beast gets 1, then everyone else gets 3 cards. They're going to look at these cards. You're going to draft 1 and pass it to the next player. Now, this is an important part of the game because each of these sections here, the top part is what the hunters will use. The bottom part is what the beast will use. So you are both trying not to pass cards to the beast or the hunters, your opponent, whatever they might be. You're trying not to pass them good cards, but you might want to pass a card to someone on your team if you are another hunter. And so these cards are cards that players are going to be playing. However, once you get these cards, once all the cards are drafted, you're also going to have cards that match your character. So if I was Fenrir, I'm going to also have this card Lurk. I'm going to have this card every turn. Once drafting is done, players are going to take turns going back and forth, and you're going to be able to play 1 or 2 cards. Each card has a blue or an orange piece to it. You'll see they make like a whole thing when you put them together. It's not like a yin-yang kind of thing. You can play 1 of each, or you can just play 1. But you'll do whatever it says. So here if I play Lurk, I move 1 step. In this one, in any order, I can move 1 step or gain a beastly talent. Beastly talents and hunter items are things that can be gotten. Each player, you can get these. There's going to be a face-up display over here, and these are cool cards that will help you out. Now, when moving, the hunters are just going to be moving along the dotted lines here on the board. When the beast moves, they're going to be looking through a deck here of cards. They have a no movement, but they also have north, south, east, and west. And they're going to be secretly moving over here next to the board. So what is trying to be accomplished as you do this? I mean, well, you saw that you are going to be following along this card here, and maybe you're trying to accomplish your goal. And the beast, in this case, for example, is trying to hunt down these people. So there's going to be a lot of attacking in this game, and attacking will do damage, and everyone has a certain number of hit points, and you can see on this shield here, the sheep have 1 hit point, the boar have 2, the bear have 2. They give a certain number of these points that are going to allow you to upgrade things. There's settlers and the nobles, but the hunter is going to be moving around. They will occasionally, if they move into a spot where the beast has been, you'll put out a token that matches that particular beast, which, by the way, I find this to be a very annoying mechanism because I'm like, oh, I got to find the right ones for the beast I'm using. I don't know why they couldn't just all have been the same, but that's a minor annoyance. I guess some people will be like, that's cool that you have the ones that match your person. I'm like, yes, but anyway. And I should, as a side note here, say I really do like the little wooden pieces. It's a little weird to have these nice screen printed wooden pieces and then standees. I get it. It's kind of a mix. And this board is a little busier than I would prefer. As you look at it here, even as you're seeing this whole board, it's a little bit hard on the eyes, but I digress. Moving around on the board and attacking are the main things that can happen. The hunters will have a chance to drop traps out on the board. Basically, when you drop a trap, you're picking secretly a type of terrain, and if the beast steps on that terrain and is on the right section of the map, you're going to be putting it in different sections. Each section has its own trap area. The beast will take damage. If you know where the beast is, you can attack the beast. The beast can attack the hunters. In fact, the beast can even kill a hunter, although the hunter gets resurrected, comes back at the end of the next night. The beast is not necessarily hunting the hunters. The beast is hunting these people and animals. Whenever the beast attacks, they reveal themselves, but hunters can also use searches to figure out, and then the beast is going to have to reveal wherever they might be at that point. And there's also ways for the hunters to look at some of the cards, and if they see the cards, they can probably figure out where the beast is. At the end of the day, after everyone has done all the action cards, once they're done passing, and you can only pass if there's no other player with fewer action cards in your hand than you, then you're going to collect your contract rewards for things that you've done, and you'll be able to upgrade. All action cards are discarded. You're going to put out new beastly talents and hunter items next to the board. Any animals or settlers that haven't been killed have all their wounds removed from them. Dead hunters come back to life, and you upgrade your characters and go to the next round. So that is essentially how the game works. One thing I'm still not sure about in this game, who is hunting who?
That's the biggest thing.
Actually, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to start with that. I mean, yes, the hunters are hunting the beast, right? And most of these one versus all, the players are hunting somebody.
Right.
Mr. X from Scotland Yard, Dracula and Fury of Dracula. But here, first of all, if I was this big, if I was this big, this gigantic beast, you ain't hunting me, I'm hunting you.
Right, I wouldn't be nearly afraid. And I have more hit points than 3 or 4, too. But it's just, that was odd.
As I played the game, I'm realizing sense. The hunters are hunting the beast, right?
Right.
That is the way it is, but it is a little odd in that. So, a few things that I want to say very positive. I want to say I feel like this is, we often talk about games being the same.
Yep.
They're always trying the same things, retrading the same things. I don't feel like this one's doing that. This one's trying something completely different, even though it's a hidden movement game. The idea of drafting the cards that both players are using, having your own cards, upgrading, giving you a set thing that you need to do with goals each round. I've never seen that in any other game.
No, I like the drafting. I like the synergy of the cards you have to put down. I like the idea of that type of stuff. I also like it's not just hidden movement when it's also kind of, you have to save people too. You move them out because you're wanting to not let the beast devour certain things because it's kind of his go-to. But then so you're combining that with trying to find and kill him. So there's a lot going on, and I appreciate the fact they try to put more into it.
Yeah.
And the artwork is incredible.
I don't, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the humans. I like the monsters.
Yes, yeah. Humans are fine.
I don't like the game that much, though. And I have several reasons why. One is not a great rulebook.
No.
Okay? It's
hard to follow.
It's tough to get into this. But even, it's not impossible.
No.
It's not a flowing game at all. There's some wonky things. Like, I know that there's probably some good game reason why you can play one blue card and one orange card. That just feels like an extra layer too much for me. Why not just play one or two cards? I always was like, I have a bunch of orange cards. I mean, it just feels like it's making this synergy thing that I didn't feel added to the game for me. I was like, I can play two cards. I don't know. And the biggest thing for me, why I'm not a huge fan of this, is because it's billed as a hidden movement game.
Right.
And it is one of the least interesting hidden movement, that part of the game is one of the least interesting I've ever played, because the hunters have so many ways to track the beast.
Yep.
The beast has to reveal every time they kill anything.
Yep.
So I'm never sitting there going, where is the beast? It's like, probably here. And when you're playing the beast, you're like, yeah, that's where I am. It's not even that negative if they know where you are. So
No.
It is. And this is one time I think people are going to be really expert at the game, go, well, what about all this and this? But when you come into this new, you're expecting this, I'm hiding and stuff. I'm not finding that in this game.
No, it's funny how the hidden obviously doesn't work very well when the beast is killing things like it should. The movement sometimes doesn't work very well either, because if you don't have that synergy, you can either move or do something. I mean, if your movement, if you have no cards to play, you'll just move, and that's it. And that's rough.
And then you'll move. So you'll be like, I'll move north. And then the seer, or whatever, is it the seer? I forget. One of the characters is basically a seer.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, I would like to look at your last card you moved. So they flip over and everyone's like, you moved north. You're like, yeah, I did.
I did. It's just...
Yes, I did.
So the whole time, as the players, you're just trying to get to the beast. There's very little guesswork on where he is.
Right, and there's also, I don't think, a lot of other strategy.
No.
Go hunt the beast. Go get him. And that's how a lot of hidden movement games are. Go
Right.
hunt the person down. But this game is like almost purporting to be something more. Like, ooh, gotta protect the villagers. And yes, that is what the game is, but I guess you could argue you should go to where the villagers are and just stand there and wait for the beast to come to you.
Yeah, but then where's the fun in that? And the thing is like, also, when you have to get that synergy cards, so many times it happens. I know they say bad drafting. It's not the way it works. You'll have one card you can play, and that's it. So there's a lot of waiting for a game that's just short. Now, the one thing this game has going for it is it is short. I mean, it is probably, two players, probably 60 minutes. But there are other short hidden movement games too that you feel a lot more involved and you can do a lot more during this. There's a lot of just waiting or trying to get to the beast, so there's no real hidden to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I kept running into little things. Like, there's these swords that you can get that let you do an extra damage.
Right.
Great. Why does a wolf have a sword? Again, that's just a minor thing, but it's a little weird to me. On the other hand, then I'd be like, ooh, I get to upgrade?
Yep.
I love upgrading stuff. Let me see what abilities I want to get. That's kind of cool. But my problem is, and this is the way it's going to be with a lot of games, is Beast doesn't exist in a vacuum. So,
right.
And here's a side note, by the way, folks. We haven't played this game together at all, actually.
No.
We played in two separate play groups with different people.
Yep.
So there's no group thing going on here. But when we were playing, people kept saying, it's kind of like Fury of Dracula. I'm like, you're right. Because Fury of Dracula does have the whole, we're going to hunt someone who's powerful, Dracula.
Right.
And we're going to beat the snot out of him, but he also can fight back.
Yep.
And it's an amazing thematic experience. Then there's also games like Mind Management and Scotland Yard, which are just go find the person. And they're all about the logic of finding the person. This game leans towards Fury of Dracula, and it's like those other ones, but it's not as good as either. I like hidden movement games a lot, and this is one of my least favorite I've played.
I agree too. And now I like when I first was able to lay traps. Traps were interesting. You know,
They are, but what's the point of them?
See, that's the thing. It has interesting ideas, but the reality doesn't deliver on it for a lot. Because, like you mentioned, hidden movement, like mind management and Fury. I can't imagine a time I'd ever pick this over either one of those. If you like the battling, go Fury. You know, because Fury...
Or Sniper Elite, even.
Or Sniper Elite is great, too. But then if you like just that 60-minute hidden movement, mind management is just so smooth.
Yeah, like that, you mentioned that thing about traps. That's another one of those little things that would pull me out. You're like, I set a trap. Did you set it in a spot here? No, I set it in one of those terrain pieces.
When he reveals
so you set
himself
100?
That's the thing.
It's just these are rules and theme, and this game has a lot of them.
A lot of them.
But they should kind of work together. And the trap one is one of those ones where you're like, well, yes, from a game perspective, it makes sense to be able to do that. Thematically, my mind is having a hard time processing that, especially since the whole game is based on theme.
Yeah.
Now, this being said, Studio Mid-Hall, this is a nice bang out. The production here, really solid production.
I love it. I love the miniatures or the shrinky dinks or whatever you call them. I love those. I love the way it looks. And the artwork on the map itself is great.
Yeah, I said it was a little busy. But
yeah, I didn't mind the artwork. I liked it. I liked the look of it.
Yeah, and I think it's a really good thing. And a lot of people seem to be really having a great time playing this game.
Yep.
But I'm giving you my thoughts on it, and I went into this one with very high expectations because hidden movement is a genre that I really enjoy.
Right.
And I kind of left this one feeling dissatisfied. For me, this one is not as bad as I've been making it sound. I'm giving it a 6 because if you tied me in the chair and said, let's play it again, I'd be like, okay, let's try it again. I want to see the good in this game, but it's just not gelling for me to be one that I would recommend to people. What about you?
No, I agree. I come in a little higher, 6.5, only because I want to like this game. And I'm still up here. I like the artwork. I like the ideas of certain mechanics in it, although they didn't deliver. So I like a lot of the ideas in this game, but it's not one of those that I can't really recommend going to get this unless you kind of have a vault of hidden movement and you want to try everything. This does have new things, but 6.5 is where I land on it. I'd play it again. If somebody had it set up, I'd sit down and try it again. But it was
And there's possible that there's a combo of Beast and Hunters, which is unbelievably cool. I haven't tried all the different combos, right? I don't know, but yeah. Well, there you go, folks. That's Beast. Yep. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Joey Evans.
And one of us is the Beast.
Hunt us.